Hey. Yeah. Oh. 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 Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, this past week, I really didn't see anything going on that was really huge in the news, except for everything they're throwing at Trump is backfiring. It's not going well. They can't get him on anything. Just not working. Boy, I wonder why. Maybe because it's all bogus. But anyways, other than that, and the fact that, you know, they've got all that, and I don't really need to say it, but they have all that, you know, evidence on Biden and Hunter, but they won't do anything to him. I mean, it really is a double standard. The so-called justice system and such, the DOJ, the FBI, they're a joke. But anyways, I regress or digress, whatever. Let's move on to what I really want to talk about this week. I will not continue watching Secret Invasion because it's just plain as dumb and boring. I watched 3 episodes of that shit and I'm just like, this sucks. This show sucks. It's just so boring. I nearly fell asleep on every episode. It was just that bad. The story's lame. It sucks. I don't care about Skrulls, you know, having a civil war. And the bad guy in it's just, I don't like him at all. The actor, I can't stand him. He sucks. Anyways, regardless, I won't be watching that show. I was going to watch and do a review on it, but it's so bad. I can't watch it. It's that bad. I was going to watch season 3 of The Witcher, but after, I mean, it just, no one likes this show. You know, at least this season. The first season was okay, which I did a review on. The second season, yeah, it started going a certain way, and I wasn't really... It started off like that in the first season, but it started getting really bad in the second season with the whole feminist crap. And I was just like, I don't know about this, if they keep this show going. Which they did, but now that Henry Cavill has come out and denounced the show and is no longer doing it. It's trash, this season 3. I don't want to watch it because I know how bad it is. I just don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to watch it. Which moves on to our next topic. Now, I did watch this just to see how pitifully bad it was. I just recently watched the new Indiana Jones movie, The Bile of Estrogy. Oh my gosh. Oh. And I know there's been a ton of reviews, people coming out talking about it, because it is so much worse than they're saying. I mean, it is god awful. It's a horrible movie. You know, I let the fourth one slide because they were trying to introduce his son. But in this one, they totally erased the son. He dies, supposedly dies in a war. And now he's going to hand over the reins to this fucking thief who's a feminist that, you know, just, she's horrible. She's terrible. And it's just, you know, someone that, you know, it's just a brand new woke character. They don't mention her in any of the other films. I wonder why. Anyways, you know, they just threw this chick out there and said, we're going to give it to, let's say, we'll call her his goddaughter. Fuck off, Disney. Kennedy sucks. She's the epitome of evil. Anyways, not only top of that, they tried so hard, I mean really hard, to make that first 20 minutes like one of the old Indiana Jones movies. And it was done so bad. I didn't care. You know, I understood what they were trying to do, but it just felt really rehearsed, like they were trying really hard. And it didn't flow or resonate with me correctly. On top of that, they CGI'd the fuck out of Harrison Ford to make him look younger in that first 20 minutes. Well, they do a few flashbacks too, same thing. They CGI'd the hell out of him. It was so fakey looking. See, they don't even need these actors anymore. They really don't. They can just CGI everything and claim that the actor did it. It's bad. It's terrible. These actors aren't going to have a job anymore soon. Anyways, regardless, you literally want to duct tape her and throw her off a fucking cliff. That's no joke. Just listening to her was just, And she's not good looking at all. She's an ugly ass woman. On top of that, okay, you have a thief who has a little thief sidekick. Basically, she's like the adult short round, and then she has her own little sidekick who's a short round clone. I was just like, fuck off. It's so dumb. And literally, you almost expected to see him with a walker or a cane. They make him look like he can't fucking do anything anymore. You know, they make him like he's this washed out old has-been. Like his life didn't matter or mean anything. And then at the very end, you know, oh, we have a geriatrics old couple that's got a, you know, Marion's got to come in and make him feel better, blah, blah, blah. It was so, oh my gosh, it was so horrible. And really, did they really have to do the whole Nazi thing again? I mean, come on. You don't have to do the Nazi thing again. You could have done something else. No, we had to have the Nazi thing. And the whole thing, which they kept claiming was something to do with time travel, I was like, no. The so-called Antiquitous device, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, I probably didn't pronounce it right. Antiquitous, I don't know what, however the fuck you want to pronounce it. They found this thing in 1901. Anthurica device or something. I can't think of what exactly it's called. But anyway, they found this thing, and they thought it was like a little mini computer because it had all these gears. It was extremely sophisticated, and nowhere in time have they ever found anything this old. That, you know, that's from that time period. But they figure out that it's I mean, scientists, the real device, they figure out it's like a calendar, and it can dictate, you know, the stars and the time and the planets alignment and all that shit. You know, solar crap. You know, it has something to do with the way the planets, keeping time of where the planets are and shit like that. Like, how the hell did they know that crap back then? Whoever did this device, they couldn't have known. They didn't have anything that they didn't know. Supposedly didn't know that there were that many planets and all that shit. But anyways, regardless, that's what it's really actually for. And they made it to where it's a time traveling device in this movie. And they go back in time, the Nazis, to try to change, but they can only go in one point in time, so it fucks everything up, and they end up in a war by this guy called Archimedes, was, you know, an inventor back in the day from ancient times, which he's not the one who created. They don't know who made the real device. But anyways, yeah, it has to do with time travel, and they come back. They don't stay in there, but you know, a plane gets shot down and all this other shit, which would infect the timeline. But yeah, they're flying around this other plane. That's how they fly back home, back through the space rift or time rift, whatever you want to call it, vortex, whatever. It's so dumb. That movie was trash. Oh my gosh, it was so god awful. Don't watch it. There's only 3 Indiana Jones movies. Okay? And that's the first trilogy. You don't need to watch any of the others. Seriously. Alright, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, movie holics. This week is Horror Week. And I chose a couple of full moon features to do. I mean, a lot of your B-rated movies is, for some reason, is full moon. They did a lot of films back in the day. You also had, one of them is, you know, a fairly known director and writer named Charles Band. Now, he did a lot of shitty ones. but there were a few decent ones he did, like the Puppet Master series. Well, some of it. Anyways, the first one is called The Killer Eye. It was done in 1999. There's no box office numbers for full moon features. They all went straight to video. It started Jacqueline Lavelle and Jonathan Norman. Now, Jonathan Norman and the other main guy in this movie, they were actually decent actors. They weren't bad. But the rest of the actors in this movie was just awful. Especially the little, I'm not sure what you call him. He's kind of like the Igor dude or whatever. He was dumber than a box of rocks. And they kept trying to talk like Beetlejuice. Like, yeah. And then I was just like, dude, why are you making that voice? It's retarded. Anyways, the whole story or plot of the movie is, this scientist creates a portal to the so-called 8th dimension. He creates this like telescopes that allows you to see into the 8th dimension, but you have to use a special chemical or eye component, like eye drops or something. It drops in the eye in order for you to see into the 8th dimension. Now he brings this kid supposedly off the streets, decides to pay him to do it. Experiment with him, and when he puts the eye drops in the kid's eye, he walks off because his wife shows up and starts bitching at him about crap. So they take off into another room to talk, and then this kid, with the eye drops in his eyes, decides to look into the telescope, and then something crosses over from the 8th dimension and infects his eye, and then turns into this giant eyeball with tentacles and takes off, leaving him dead, or supposedly dead. Anyways, throughout the movie, they're basically trying to trap this eye or whatever and stop it. And then throughout the movie, they can't do it. They can't seem to stop the eye. It has all these weird powers or some shit, but they figure out eventually how to trap it into going back to its own dimension towards the end of the movie, and make it go back into its own dimension. Now, during the movie, it was almost kind of like a soft, weird porn. I mean, it was really weird. Apparently, the eyeball, giant eyeball, kept messing with the women because it needs to impregnate women. So that its kind can invade Earth and blah blah blah. That was just kind of dumb. But there were scenes in the movie where it was like, I think Charles Band had a thing for Jacqueline Lavelle, because this ain't the first movie he had her in. But there's a lot of nudity with her and the other girl that's in this movie, and the eyeball doing stuff, weird stuff to him. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And it'd go on for like 10 minutes. It was like 10-minute scenes of this shit. Them just moaning and groaning and moving around. And this eyeball's got little tentacles that were going all over their body, and you're just like, what the fuck, man? This is some fucking dumbass weird sex shit. It was dumb. Anyways, after they trapped the eyeball into another dimension or whatever, they found out it was sucking the brains of a couple of the people that were there, and that's why they died. They also figured out that it needed to procreate with women to create more of its race. And at the very end, after the eyeball went back to its own dimension, the two women that were in the movie, they started grabbing their bellies and grunting and shit like, you know, they're pregnant. And that was pretty much the end of the movie. The only way they could, you know, attack the eyeball apparently was to shine a bright light in the big eye, the eyeball, the giant eyeball. That's literally what the only thing they were doing was shining this light in the eyeball. I was just like, get the fuck out of here. Otherwise, the eyeball, it can make him do what it wants by shooting these like electronic sparks into him and make him do whatever it wants. I was just whatever. This movie was dub. I was only able to watch it because the two main guys, two main actors, you know, they were all right. They were decent. The rest of them were shitty, but it was just so absurd. It was funny, and I just kept watching because I'm laughing my ass off how redonkulous this movie was. I give it 2 thumbs down. It was, unless you just want something to really laugh at, it was dub. Alright, let's get on to your next one. Again, another full moon feature, another Charles Band movie. And it is called Hideous. And it was done in 1997. Again, straight to video, no box office numbers. It starred Mel Johnson and Tracy May. Now, Mel Johnson and Tracy May are not the greatest of actors, but they're fairly well known. And there was a couple others in the movie that were actually known. You know, I mean, they mostly did B-rated shit, but they were known. You probably know Johnson from the movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He played the black mutant dude. But anyways, this movie, it almost seemed like he was trying to do another Puppet Master kind of thing. With this one, it just didn't pan out right. The story is you have these guys, Johnson and the other dude, the one who played Dr. Loke. They're rivals. They're collectors of oddities. You know, mutated creatures or you know, humans, that sort of thing. And they collect them, put them in these glass jars with formaldehyde and blah blah blah. Well, this one mutant or oddity gets found in the sewage, and the sewage guy sells it to Tracy May's character, who actually sells these oddities to these different collectors. She gets involved. She sells it to the doctor. The doctor, who, you know, Jacqueline Lavelle's in this too as his, like, I don't know, mistress, kind of like she's supposed to be this bodyguard type person for him. Anyways, they all end up in this Dr. Loeb's castle because he steals the oddity. Well, the oddity isn't dead or whatever. It's actually alive, and it's kind of like a psychic mutant or some shit, and it causes the other oddities in his place. There's like 3 or 4 other oddities that it makes come alive, and they become like little people or oddity people or whatever. And they're trying to escape the castle because they put on the doctor and his bodyguard. They shut the castle down, you know, like locked doors and all, and locked shutters and shit. So they're all trapped inside with these oddities. And the oddities, at first they try to be nice to him, you know, and try to help him out, but then they just, you know, they want to keep him and blah blah blah, and then the oddities just wanted to leave. So they end up fighting and they start killing them all. They think they kill them all after all of them are pretty much dead, except for there's like some investigator that joins them, and Jacqueline Lavelle's character, the bodyguard or whatever, she and him leave together, and they're going to form their own company kind of shit or whatever. But anyways, they leave together towards the end. Everybody else is dead. But at the end, you see the oddities in the car. They're obviously still alive. They didn't kill them. And that's how they escape. And that's the end of the movie. It was cheesy. It wasn't really that great, to be honest. You had some decent actors in this, though. So, you know, it was fairly watchable. But the story was just kind of lame. Like I said, he tried to do something similar to Puppet Masters or like Demonic Toys or something. It just didn't work. I give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. It's okay for a one-time watch. But it was pretty cheesy. It was pretty bad. Check it out if you want. If you're into Full Moon Features or even Charles Band, you know. But anyways, that's all I have for you this week. If you have anything you would like to talk about or have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you could think of any B-rated or underrated B movies, something you think I may never have even heard of or seen that was actually fairly decent, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below, and I'll get to reviewing it as soon as I can. So until next week, next time, whatever, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you've just been told.